Hello and welcome to Big Scott 35 Saturday edition, 12/31. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Um, Football playoffs today, college. I believe is the NFL playing today. I think so. So lot of stuff going on, and also this is going to be this Saturdays is always my week that it is, and then I go over some personal stuff, what's in my collection, how I hobby, whatever. So today we'll talk about the week that was, and then we'll get into my goals, and I'll explain more about that at the last part of it. So week there was started off with Sunday night. Dom, Stadium Sports Guards came on. Uh, Another young man in this community that knows his stuff, man. He researches. I have a new go-to guy now for when I get nervous about buying certain stuff in vintage. Great guy in this community. Loves, very passionate. Uh, I believe when I met him at the National and everything, he just loves the camaraderie. I think he's a lot like me, where you probably don't have a lot of people around you, and when you do get around people that collect like you or collect, uh, it's just you get so excited. I know I do when I go to shows and the National, and I get to hang out with people for that one time a year. Uh, it's great, and he's a great asset into the community. I think he said he started in April doing videos, so I can't wait to have him back on. And awesome fella, nice guy. Uh, then showed off some cards on Wednesday. PWCC purchases, eBay, and Mike O. That I was very happy with. PWCC is still feeding me. I I might only get two or three, but I'm getting them at prices I want to pay. Uh, and yeah, this week I haven't checked to see where I'm at. I went after a couple of autographs and stuff, but um, I think I already got outbid on those. But I'm trying to steal them. I'm trying. Not literally, but I'm trying to get at my cost. That's what I'm looking for, and I've been doing pretty well, especially with '90s inserts. I don't know if it's just I don't know PWCC that the history very well of what's been on there, but I know there's been a lot of cards, and I just don't know if there's more cards being sold and people buying, and that's the reason why. And that's just something I'm going to be looking at in the future. So that's something that I just had something pop in. I had to write it down for for this future video. So that's why I like to show that stuff, because I've really been liking it. And I get my cards before the end of the week. You can also vault them and get them sent all at once. And I might start doing that. I just love getting my cards. So I'm just not buying as much. I'm just not. I still have cards over here that I like to share, but I've had them for a while. Uh, I just I don't know why. I think I'm trying to get, and I'll talk more about this later. I think it's something more quality than quantity, and just being more focused. Uh, let's see. Then I did my Thursday show, which again that's going to stand alone. I'll talk more about that later as well in my future. So it was a great week. When now for the topic that really found me thinking about it a lot this week. driving in my car, work. We had a very slow this week at our work. Is usually we got most of our stuff done. We're just kind of waiting for the new year to start over again. A lot of cleaning and maintenance work, stuff like that. Slower week. So I had a lot of time to think and research things and just trying to get my head on what this year is going to bring for me. So first, I kind of want to break it down into my hobby and then channel. So hobby-wise, I'm trying to be focused. So I have made a list of like stuff this year and kind of in the order that I'm looking for. Now, I PC these guys, and these are the guys that most definitely, and probably in this order too, when I do searches and what I look for. Gary Carter. Now, Gary Carter, I bought that big collection. I added a lot of cards. Snoop was nice enough to tell me I'm not even close to. So I know I got about half of what's out there, I think, what Snoop said. And then I'm trying to add mostly on-card, in-person autographs of the Topps playing days, the base cards, which is harder than it sounds because a lot of those are in people that also collect Carter collections. They just don't come up. I can find autographs, but most of the time it's like Fleer, Donruss. I'm more looking, I want to put my dollars into the Topps base playing days. And I would like to hit the run if I can find them. And that's not a rush, but it's just something I look for kind of on a weekly, daily, whenever I get a chance. Next is going to be Pete Alonso's. I'm just trying to get as much as I can. I'm knocking on 1,000 cards already for him. I have a bunch of his rookies. I need to break down like my collection with him. I have spreadsheets for him, but I mean, there's still plenty more rookies out there. If I had all the rookies, it'd be over 1,000 right there. So I know I'm way off on that, but still, it's just been fun looking for it. And like I said before, I am for the Topps. I'm kind of in the looking for low numbers, stuff you just don't see. I have yet to see a clear. I have yet to see a printing plate. But stuff is starting to pop up a little bit more. Black of the debut came in my area, and I got a little. I sent a. Now I feel like I got a little greedy, but I don't. Now that I think about it, and Wise Man said, I'm giving you an offer with real money, and he just declined it. He didn't return it. So why do you have best offer? If you. I gave the offer to meet him somewhere in between what his price was, because it's a pro debut. The debuts, the rookie debut, I mean, is not not sought after Pete Alonso card at all. So if the Pete Alonso is selling around $40 graded 10 base, I don't see where the black rookie debut should be where it was. So I thought it was overpriced, especially for what I paid for the Father's Day. So I was kind of playing off of that. But not, it doesn't matter. So back to, I tell you, I get on tangents. I love talking about cards. So Pete Alonso, a little bit of everything, whatever I can get that's affordable. I think some of his stuff is still overpriced. But anyway, my next one is kind of new to my PC per se. It's always been there, but I've never been hunting, is David Wright's now. David Wright is strange, to say the least, when you're collecting. What do I mean by that? So he's the captain. He's very popular among Mets fans. he does have a following, but it's not like other great Mets players. So you'll find stuff very reasonably priced. I am surprised when I find some stuff, but then I look again, and then there'll be an autograph, and they'll be way overpriced. So I don't know if that has to be caught up, or people haven't caught up to where cards are now to where they were in the last couple of years. But it's always been like that with David Wright. His prices are kind of all over the place. I feel like, I have quite a few autos for him. I'd love to get some more. And I'll touch on that a little bit later. But that's somebody, I don't even have a spreadsheet for him yet. And I think I'm going to try to use one of the tools that are provided on one of the databases for that one, because it takes forever. But it's fun to do it. Then I have next is Johnny Bench. I'm doing the playing days tops run for him in PSA. So trying to pick up when I can. That's another guy that I don't see a lot of tops playing days PSA graded cards out there for sale. It's not an overabundance of them. Next is Cal Ripken. I could pick up Cal. I showed you at the last show. I got a ton of metal inserts and all these other inserts from the 90s. When I put them in my I try to go by memory. I think I had, out of 55, I think I picked up about maybe 10 dupes. So I've added about 45 cards. I'm really close to 1,000 cards for him now, and I think he has, I don't know how many cards. Those 90s guys, they have a ton of cards. If I wanted to get 1,000 for any of these guys, I'd just do what I did for Gary Carter, but I'm just not going to pay that much at one time. I did pick up at one time a pretty good Cal Ripken collection, which boosted my numbers for that one, but I didn't overpay. I felt like I did really, really well. And only problem was there was a lot of dupes. I got like 50, 60, 87s and 86s. Just didn't need that. Ken Griffey is next. Loved getting those 90s inserts of him. And it's funny I have him so low, because you can find Ken Griffey's, and they're not, most of the time, I can pick one off at a reasonable price for my collection. A couple here and there, and I do well at shows. Because I don't need a 10. I want the card. So if I find an 8, especially in those insert die cuts, and I can find a 7 or an 8 that just doesn't have the visible, damage on the front, I'll pick those up all day. And because I just want the card, and I want a very nice, clean copy, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a 10. And then I have to bring up the rears, the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, another one that I can find easily. He's starting to slow down for me at shows and cases. I think he's going to be one of those great players that is going to have a following, but maybe not the following as some others, which I thought, when he was playing, he was going to be, him and Ken Griffey kind of, were together, came in together. Frank Thomas had a longer career, but I just thought Frank would be, and I don't know if the end of his career kind of hurt his legacy or whatever, trying to hang on. But that's just the way it goes. And then these other ones that I'm looking for kind of, when I come across them, I do hunt for these, but not like, they're more because I can find them. It's easy. I can just sit down online in 10 minutes, find what I need. So 71 tops graded. You see me picking those up. I'm getting them already graded. I'm getting them most of the time lesser than right now. The bids I'm putting in are for lesser than what buying the card and getting them graded would be. It's even been lesser than just getting the grading fees, believe it or not. So I've been doing that, picking those off. I have a lot of like the bigger names. I got, you know, some I am missing. And so like I do collect Roberto Clemente, and I didn't even have him on here. So Roberto's another one I'll be looking for. I'm not much on writing down, and I should be, because once you write it down, it's a physical thing. Then 71 tops, back to that. So I've been trying to get as many of them as 7 or above as I can that I can afford, and then when I can't afford it in a 7, then I start dropping back to where can I afford it. So most time it's like a 4 or a 5. So or it's just easier because like checklist I've been picking up in 5s, 4, 5, 6s because a lot of times they're just so hard to find, minty fresh, and just I don't want to overpay for a checklist that I can put that money into something else. And so as long as again, a clean front, no marks. I don't want. What's the one thing? I don't want any check marks on the checklist. So that's no writing. That's my pet peeve when it comes to this set. Uh, so 71 tops. I don't even have 100 cards yet. I have a 762 card set, I believe it is. So it's fun just picking them up when I find them. Couple here, couple there. That's just something. And when I get it, that's going to be a lifetime achievement award for myself. That's going to be a level up for me for that one. Leveling up. The next is something I pick up about once every paycheck. I'll go to the next year and just pick up what I need or whatever, or a bigger card. Mets team set, Tops flagship. I have 60s. I have the 70s. In the 80s, and the ones in the 80s I have right now that I'm missing is cards that I have, but they're graded. But I want them in my books, so they need to get the strawberry traded, and then I need to get and I have one. I got a good, and I just got to pull it out of to get graded because I got a graded copy and put it in my book. So I just need to do that. That's the 2 cards. So like I said, I have the strawberry graded. I just don't have it loose raw. Then Roberto Clemente, I'm working on his as much I can find of his run of player day runs. I don't go after the non-player stuff, non-playing day stuff for him like I do my other PC guys. I want his playing day stuff. That's the one guy that I look for that. And I basically only purchase at shows for that because I want to know what I'm getting in hand. Because like I said, I'm not well addressed, especially when you get into specialty stuff. The 60s oddball stuff. Sorry, Rick. And Mandini, the stuff, that just is not the top stuff. And it's been a great learning process because when I do go to get that, it's like something I don't know, but there's other players right in that card line, so I get to learn about the card. So I love learning, and when I can to absorb it and then try, and then it means just as much to share it because I'm excited that hey, this dumb actually knows something. It was awesome. And then last but not least, I got just Star Wars here circled. Star Wars is near and dear to me, but that just kind of represents non-sports for me. If it's wrestling, if it's I know wrestling is a sport, it's an entertainment. I look at it as a non-sport. That is a TV show put on by athletes. But you can beat me for that later. I'm not huge into wrestling. It's just something I pick up for fun. So it just just something I pick up every once in a while. I get in. That's one of those things I get like, oh, I want to pick up some, and then I stop for a while, and then I'll pick up some more. Then also like Batman, but it's got to be specific. It's just you don't see modern day DC comic stuff out there for cards. Uh, any TV show. I'll pick up some Walking Dead every once in a while. I do have Walking Dead cards. I have Big Bang cards. I have, if they make a card and I like it, I'm going to pick up a little bit just to have in my collection. And I would like to get into a little bit more. Like I picked up that Batman set. It's not the most beautiful set, but I got the set and I've been grading it. And it's, 4.5, I think is the best card, which I'm excited about. It's 1966. I just want the whole set now, have it graded. And I'm doing that about once every couple of weeks. I got a stack here that I'm sending in to Mike. Yeah, I can probably send in 5 every time, but I'd rather get other stuff graded as well. So it's not a huge thing. So when talking about that, so I'm grading the tops that year, and that's pretty cool. Pow! We all know that, right? But I'm also doing this set, and then I got another set of Star Wars in mind, which is the 1977 Wonder Bread that I have. Y'all know I love Stormtroopers. I'm sending that in as well. And then I love my history. I believe this was in this year's Allen and Ginter. I just thought this was an awesome card. I'm actually listening to an Audible book, 1776. So it's Washington, King George III. That's what I'm going to be sending in to get graded, SGC wise. So that's going to be about it. I'm not going to have any number goals. I'm not going to have, I got to get this, I got to get that. But what I'm trying to say is this is where my passion lies. I know it sounds like it's a lot, but for me, I would buy boxes upon boxes and then not go after these guys. That's why I don't have a lot of Gary Carters, because I grew up, collected everything, but you had favorites. Now I know that you don't have to collect that way. It's hard for me to break that. I still buy blasters. I'll still buy a box when I want to buy a box, because I got to open. I told you before, I open 4 packs a day. I keep a stack over here of packs, and I open just to feel. It's at the end of the day, I get to open 4 packs. It's a great feeling. So that's about it. This is my focus. I know it sounds like it's a huge focus, but it's just I love to have fun with the hobby. And I feel like having multiple things and not just a handful or one team, it just gives me, I don't have collecting fatigue. I don't, and when it comes to this, I just don't collect cards. I collect memorabilia, I collect video games, and we'll touch on that here for a second too for my Thursday listeners. So for my nerdy stuff, we'll be going after Dreamcast, and I'm only picking up games I play. For right now, I have a huge backlog. So if it's not Dreamcast, I'm kind of not buying it until I play some of the stuff. There is 2 games coming out that I probably will pre-order, because if they got specialty items with it, I'll probably get those. The Star Wars game, and what was the other one? Oh, Suicide Squad. Because I wanted to do that with Gotham Knights, and they really didn't have anything cool, so I just waited till it came out. And I wish I would have waited till now. I could have got it cheaper. And that's one of my favorite games. People did that. Days Gone is a zombie game. people didn't realize how good it was until it became cheaper and people bought it cheaper. But since people didn't buy it at the beginning and pre-orders sucked for it, Sony didn't green like a second edition. But now that it's hit the computers and everything, I hope that changes. It's been a great one. I see my videos going really, really long, so that's enough blurring about everything else. Now about my channel. Now on my channel, I'm happy to say I've gone up in views, watch time. I've gained 12% views, 79% more watch time, and I've gained over 100 subscribers. So thank you to everyone out there for watching and participating in my channel. I love everybody, every person that takes the time to do it. In the new year, I want my channel to not grow specifically for subscribers, which would be great, but just to grow, to get better at everything. I just don't want to put stuff up for the sake of doing stuff. If you notice, I've added a couple of days, and now when I do that, it has a theme, because I want my channel to be a channel. I don't want, so every time you'll know, oh, it's Wednesday, here's Scott's Pickups. It's Thursday, it's Nerdy Thursday. Saturday, we're going to learn more about Scott hobby. Sunday night, we're all going to sit around and laugh about, with using a hobby as a platform to have a good time. So I have some thoughts, and I don't know if it'll get done by early in the year, later, but to Mondays, I think it's going to be sharing with, this is going to be another nerdy day where I'm going to share some gaming and reviews. So I'll have 2 days in my week, and that'll just give me Tuesday, Friday off. So I really want to make this a true channel where when you tune in, you know what day it is. That's why I put dates down. You kind of know what you're getting yourself into. And I really like that. And, any other thoughts or anything. And that's something that's a goal. And that's an actual goal. That's not something that has to be done first week, but I have to get the right gear. I'm talking to people, try to make sure how to do that properly, because I don't want to half-ass it. If I do it, I want it to make my channel better, not drag it down. And, I just want to be more diverse, because I'm a diverse collector, if that makes sense, in my collecting world. And I want to continue on. I want to get a more diverse group on my Sunday nights. I have a long list of names in my head, not for just the channel, people but me and that's been talking about people in that own shops and other things, just trying to get people that are in the hobby, not necessarily on the channel, for the Sunday night stuff. And I think the rest will just kind of take care of itself. Again, when I looked at my numbers over the year before, presently happy, not shocked, because I know in this last year, just by going to shows and stuff, I've been doing better. And to have my peers tell me, I'm hitting my stride and things like that, have great guests that don't even hesitate to say, yeah, I'll come on and win. And knowing I don't have a huge following, that means a lot to me. That means more to me than having 10,000 subscribers, I believe. So having the love of the people I have now is huge. And just how we interact and all that, and how I know most of the people and things like I just love that. What else about the channel? Not much. I'm just gonna keep being Scott. Big Scott 35 is Big Scott 35. I love to laugh. have a good time, and let others talk about the negativity. I'll talk about it every once in a while when I think it needs to be talked about. But yeah, that's not me. Again, anything else, I feel like I'm leaving something out, but my big thing for the channel is just be better with everything I do and try to get that gaming part done because that's part of my hobby life. So please like, share, comment, tell me what I can do better. Tell me how to be a better person in every way. I love to hear that. I don't shy away from criticism, and I don't take it as a negative as long as it's done properly. If you come at me and be negative, I will, and I probably won't address it, but I'll feel happy because I made it. you got to be successful to have haters. So until next time, please subscribe, hit that bell, do all the stuff that you need to do in this stuff that we call YouTubes. Till next time, see ya.